We're for real doing Nazi black metal and your wife. Huh? Alright, you know what? Roll me them fucking credits, bro. Here we go.
Say my name.
Jam, but you just become best friends. Yep.
I love the poorly educated.
Has anybody in your life taken a moment today to say to you, "Hi diddly hey, neighborino"? Yeah, I didn't think so. That's what you're here for. Because we are all inclusive. We are welcoming of every sort, right? There will be a portion of the program we are going to ask the Muslims to step outside so we can have the gay sex with pigs and Mohammed moment. But, I'm kidding. You can't profit jack without the profit jocks. They got to stay in for that one. They'll love it, and it will be a blast. It is Jim Dempsey, and do me a favor, you. If nothing said in the course of this video offends you deeply and personally, then please do comment that fact below so that I can feel deeply offended on your behalf, because someone's got to do the work around here. Now we are going to be talking about bitches. I mean, the lovely lasses, the comely vessels and bearers of life that brought each of us into the world and deserve our unqualified respect and admiration. You know, the fuckable sort of people. And we got to start out though with a land acknowledgement. This video is filmed on land stolen from Phil Vandervoort by an unspecified county in Washington State in the form of obscene property taxes, and he's duly upset about that, given what time of year it is, and so there's that, and we also need to acknowledge a birthday. It is, regrettably, not our birthday. A very merry unbirthday to you, Phil, and to myself. But that was yesterday. Yesterday was our 1-year anniversary when we launched this whole clown car of a charade. And the thing is about birthdays is that birthdays are actually bullshit, right? Let me tell you why. Because for one day you feel kind of special and you're like, wow, a good birthday, right? Then you get to the end of the year and you look back and you're like, all right, who all had a birthday this year? Everybody? Fucking thought I was something big for just a minute here. Thought I had a day to myself, huh? Fuck that. So yeah, bullshit. But that said, we did officially launch on April 20th, 2025, and there is, I hope, no record of that, because yeah, the first run of them kind of went off the rails pretty quickly, and so yeah, it went to hell. But we had to relaunch. Now let me unpack that, because the thing is, I don't want anyone walking away thinking I'm like down with the Bob Marley BS, right? Like, it's because I wanted a nice mnemonic date freighted with good historical significance, so that when someone's like, well, how long you been doing this? So I wouldn't be like, August 17th, maybe? So, we decided January 20th to coincide with the clown car going off in the other Washington, right? Well, it didn't pan out because I'm kind of bad with follow-through, not going to lie. And we then regrouped and regathered and said, April 20th, because Columbine and Hitler's birthday and shit. And I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Let's just open the gates, come out strong with a good happy birthday to Fuhrer, right? It was a Morbid Angel episode, so it seemed strangely appropriate. Or maybe not that strange, given all the Lovecraft shit at any rate. And, it didn't pan out, and so we regrouped, regathered, and we're like, we'll relaunch on Devil's Night, with, appropriately enough, the Morbid Angel video. And, here's the thing about that. Most of this shit is a joke, right? I'd be like, this whole channel exists primarily to remind myself not to take life seriously whatsoever in any regard at all. But also, if I can give something useful to, posterity, well then, bonus, right? But this one's actually not a joke, is that we posted the Morbid Angel video, and 10 days later my dad died. And that was like maybe 10 years before I reasonably felt that I should expect to have to deal with it. But what the fuck ever, right? You get to a certain age and you're like, course of time, correct? We relaunched the second one, and 10 days later, someone that was a lot closer in age to me, and also, similarly close to me in life, like, died a lot more abruptly, and I'd be like, I don't know that I want to do a third Morbid Angel video now. Like, it's going to have to be as good as it was, even though I left out a couple of gags. That was the reason the whole thing fell apart the first time. I jinxed it by not putting enough Hitler jokes into the Morbid Angel video. They were like, bro, the internet needs cookies, so turn the ovens on. And I was derelict in my duty. And yeah, like, I don't want to kill someone with, a final draft of it. Unless we all think there's someone that really has it coming, in which case I'll try to target the energy. Because check this out, can I tell you something? You know who killed Tom Petty? And may I just say, it was kind of an accident, but here's what happened. So, Jim Dempsey, a man of many CDs. I got this CD book right here, right? It's full of all these CDs. And mind you, these are all death and black metal CDs. But I also have this CD book here. And mind you, these are also all death and black metal CDs. Oh, and then Tom Lair's in the back of that one for no reason. And I also got this book of CDs. And these aren't death or black metal CDs. Although I think there is Metallica in here. And, Christian death also. Now, I got like, however many CDs are all these. Once upon a time, probably before these were as full as they are, I had at least 5,000 CDs. And how much time am I going to have in my fucking life, right? Like, people are already dying around me. So I got to pare down a little bit. And was I going to pare down the death and the black metal CDs? So, I'm paring down this one, and I'm going through this thing. And a lot of these CDs were just mixtape shit, where I'd be like, I like this one song, I like that one song, I'll put it on a mixtape. But I never got around to putting it on a mixtape. And these are songs, they're the kind of songs you can walk into a grocery store and hear. And I'd be like, what the fuck do I need a Sublime CD for? I only like one song anyway, and I can just, like, turn on the radio and be like, alright, we'll get to the part where you put the gun down his throat, alright? That's all we're here for. So, I'm going through it, and I'm like, yo, bro, I was just in, like, the grocery store this morning walking out to Stabbing Westward, like, sorry, bro. I get to Tom Petty, and I'm like, yo, like, everybody had, like, Tom Petty's one where you can be like, AM or FM. You're gonna get some, so, what the fuck do I need that for, right? And he fucking dies the next day, and I was just like, I didn't think you'd take it that personally, bro, but to be honest with you, out of all the people that I seem to have remotely killed through my energies, that's one that I kind of feel the least bad about. But yeah, that's what happened. So, yeah. So if you guys really feel like there's someone that just we need to just do away with, like, and we get a top contender in the comments, then we'll make a third Morbid Angel video, and we'll put your name on it. And I'm betting $5 it's going to be Little Redhead Devin, because he's probably the one that's got the least offenders out of all the internet. Can we segue from that? Because I got something I need to say about the whole Devin Chambergraves situation, wherein you may recall he inartfully expressed some otherwise probably pretty reasonable opinions, or at least certainly understandable opinions, and then, like, because it was inartfully expressed, someone with, a lot more subscribers than anyone else, because she's like a comely young lass, saw it and was like, oh, I'm going to make a video about this. And then, I saw that fact, and I was just like, oh, we should get these two on a fucking date. And then this little punk-ass kid from that one podcast starts, like, talking to him. And I was like, oh, now it's actually popping up. Like, I literally made it happen. That's fucking hilarious. And then I wanted to do a follow-up on that because I listened to the podcast and one and a half of them, and it fucking sucked. And that kid's a douchebag, and he himself is a little poser. And good on him, I suppose, for his sake. But for us, I would just be like, nah, kid, get the fuck out of here. Go make money, be successful, get on with the business of feeling very self-conscious about the fact that you were once associated with us, because you're not like us and you're not one of us, and that's just all. And I didn't want to apologize for it. I was just like, yo, I was wrong about some of this stuff. Like, because I was like, can you say that someone is a poser if you know that they are into it now, but in 10 years they won't be? I was like, I don't think you can call that person. Well, no. And this kid made me realize the errors of my ways. So we made this whole video where it was going to be a big mea culpa, and then I don't think it got posted because I didn't put enough Hitler jokes into it. I didn't turn the ovens on for it. What can I say? But the simple fact is, I'm like, that is a really good. That is it. It just is, and he knows too. That was the whole thing in the video. I was like, so good for me. I got them a date. But here's the thing: this guy with this podcast, Kill the Posers, he's a little punk, and yeah, he's spent 15 minutes of a 45-minute podcast building this exit rap for himself, just talking about like, I'm gonna be, like, in a couple of years, I'm not gonna be feeling like this. I'm not gonna be associating with these people. And I was like, that's very cogent and insightful. And yeah, he's absolutely not. And so it made me a little less tolerant of him. I'm like, yeah, you know what? And the other thing that I didn't like was that he said whatever to first Devin and then to Chamber Graves, where I'm like, yo, if you actually said to Devin what you told Chamber Graves that you said to Devin, I bet she could have listened to the podcast too and be like, you're full of shit. And she was probably being nice to him. I could only get halfway through that one because he talked more than she did. And I was like, God, why is he talking? Why are you talking over the girl, dude? Like, shut the fuck up, because you suck anyways. You spent last week's episode talking about how you're not going to be into this in 2 years. So just let her say her piece and let's get this over with, right? Now, whatever. And I wasn't happy with the whole situation. And I came away with this realization. Yes, if we know you will not be into the underground shit in 10 years, then you are a poser doing this now, no matter how much you may like it now. Because for some of us, it's just like, and I wondered too, I used to be like, am I possibly going to be this kind of crazy motherfucker when I'm like past 40? Yeah. So, but I was very self-conscious about it. I legit wondered on that one. Because there was a lot of stuff where I was like, I'm not down with that. Like, does that... Well, no, the fact is, some of us are just called to it. Some of us just live in this fucking, that sphere, right? That's just, it's who you are. And your wife is maybe pretty vexed by it. But if not, then you might have married poorly and you may regret that. On which note, let's talk about this. So, here's the thing. My poor, sweet summer child, Devin, that I got introduced to, she's a hottie, isn't she? I watched a video of the Chamber Graves just recently, wherein she's talking about the sleep token, and ask me why I watched a video about Chamber Graves talking about sleep token. I could not tell you the answer, honestly. It doesn't hurt she's easy on the eyes, I suppose, but have I ever heard sleep token? Not aware of it. And do I care to rectify that? No. And so, like, but I think I just kind of wanted to see if she was gonna, like, bring him on and be like, yeah, by the way, guys, I've replaced the Jim Dempsey looking kid with this redhead guy because Jim Dempsey hooked me up, and now I'm. And what happened instead was she talked about sleep token for like however many minutes, and she said this thing about Israeli energy, and my ear perked up, and I was like, note that that's something the kids are saying. Well, then she said it twice more in close proximity to each other, just talking about either the band or the fan base as having, and she said Israeli and Israel, like, doubling down on it in just a very pejorative sense. And I'd be like, that's really interesting, because the thing about that Now, I want to clarify all this by being like, I am one of the defenders, and I personally think I'm probably the most cogent, the most thoughtful, and the most expert, and also the most discriminating, dare I say, defender of NSBM. Because I'd be like, yo, if you're Nazi and your black metal's good, that's most good black metal. If your black metal sucks, the fact that you're Nazis doesn't make it better or excusable at all. And that's most NS. In fact, as far as I've ever heard, that's all like actual straight NS. But are most black metal guys doing good black metal like really bad people and also fucking racist? Yeah, that's a given. There's a reason why we don't generally invite them into our houses besides, through the medium of the CD. I know at least a multiple of people that have interacted with Varforth, and each one has said of him, with varying amounts attached to it, that motherfucker owes me X amount of hundreds of dollars. All of them. Everyone I know that's interacted with him has said that. So, I mean, yeah. I'd be like, well, I bought as many Shining CDs as I could to have just, like, a copy of each. So, doing my part for you there, chum. But, yeah, we'll never see that money again. Last few have been a little bit, whatever. We can get back to that. Maybe I need to tie this. I need to stay on the track of the girl, right? So, because I'm just saying, I'm not Jewish myself. I'm not especially tuned to this. I did notice the podcast kid was Jewish, and I was just like, well, that's a good predictor for the idea that he's going to be very successful and interacting with similarly successful people, and accordingly, he's going to be very self-conscious about having ever associated with our gutter-ass types. But whatever, like, I don't got, You ask me, like, hey, would you take the entirety of the Jews or an equivalent number of Muslims culled randomly from any Muslim country? I'd be like, shut the fuck up and give me those Jews, bro. That's what I'd say, alright? I'm just saying. And Napoleon agrees with me, so, if you think that, if you think you got a better answer, then Napoleon and I will meet you on the fucking battlefield, bastard. And, as long as the battlefield's not Russia. We've had bad experiences with them. Anyway, here's the thing, though. I got a friend. I'm not going to out my friend. My friend owned a Corvette. This same friend likes Queensryche. I was down with the Corvette. I'll give him that. Like, I like a Corvette. But, did I not just say about, like, that guy's going to be self-conscious about interacting with us? I'm not, like... I don't got a lot of illusions about myself. My wife's not actually that happy about that. She wants me to be a little more... but I'm just like, yo, you got what you got, alright? Like, I don't think I was... maybe I had more potential when I was younger. I'm not going to lie about that one. But, yeah, it worked out the way it did, because I was called to this. I was like, I'm not a fucking poser, honey. I'm sorry. It turned out that the death metal had a hold on me, and, yeah, that was who I was. And I was not going to grow out of that and be successful. I mean... yeah, financially, we'll give me that. Because I'm not going to lie about that one. Jim Dempsey's a broke-ass motherfucker. And, where were we at with this one? Did I get around to... because this is the thing, yeah. Let me bring it right back to that. Because I just... I ain't going to beef on anyone for being Nazis. I live in Eastern Washington. It's kind of a thing. But here's the thing, is I'd be like, yo, I'll stay on the west side of Spokane, you can stay on the Coeur d'Alene side, alright? Like, and we can come to the same concerts, and we can, like, rock out to the same music, and that's fine. We can mosh, even. But, I'm not going to invite you home. And I'm definitely, me, and this was the thing, is, like, I would have felt this way at any point in time. But, yeah, like, definitely not, like, going to invite you home and be like, oh yeah, are you married to a mud person? And I'm gonna be like, yeah. There's no kids whatsoever. Like, let me show you the front door here really quick. It's lovely. Like, yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. I'd be like, yo, I don't bash on people for being fucking Nazis. I'd be like, I don't understand it. I got a high tolerance for black people, but I understand that other people don't. And whatever, like, that's your experience. I didn't live your experience, so I'm not qualified to judge it in a scientific manner. And accordingly, I got kind of a radar for that shit. And I just be like, she's saying Israeli like that, bro? So let me bring it back to my friend here. He's got a Corvette. He likes Queensryche, right? And I'm like, you do have to be very mindful, because with those two factors aligned, like you're skirting really close to white trash, bro. Like, we're already gutter trash, but you're just getting close to like a mullet and Bud Light right there. So be careful with yourself. That's what my advice is to chamber graves. You're from Florida, right? Like, am I wrong about that one? Like, you come from Florida, you hang out with like the black metal sorts, so you got, you know, that aesthetic. You start talking about Israel as a pejorative, and Israel specifically, and I'm just going to be like, Devin, here's the thing. That woman is a fucking Nazi in training. Like, granted, the whole culture's kind of gone, like, really hard against Israel ever since a bunch of fucking Muslims, like, stormed into Israel and, like, raped a bunch of chicks exactly like little chamber graves. But, you know, whatever. Like, that's where we're at in history, right? And I'm just like, maybe she'll make good fucking black metal, unlike most of this NS bullshit. But you know what? Not only is she going to, as I believe I've already said in a video, not only is she going to like stab you in your sleep when she's 28 years old, she's going to be wearing a fucking swastika while she's doing it. And her fucking Facebook handle is going to be like Chambergrave's Raven's daughter. So I'm just saying, good luck with that one, pal. Watch that shit, because yeah, that bitch, she's a hottie, isn't she? But that's a red flag for all guys. Like, you think, like, oh yeah, bright colored hair, like nose ring. Oh, no, straight up, bro. Like, if that chick is into metal, that's a fucking red flag. Always a red flag. Something's wrong with that bitch, alright? Like, and they're usually really fucking hot. Not gonna deceive on that one, right? Like, we can all understand that. But they're fucking crazy. They're absolutely all fucking crazy. That's exactly what Devin's thing was. He's like, I don't understand this. And what he didn't want to say was they all have big touched by an uncle energy. But that's what he was maybe didn't realize to get at. That's what I'm telling you right now, bro. They're into this shit because they're fucked up. That wasn't even the whole purpose of this, but I'd be like, that's probably a really good life lesson, and we're at about 20 minutes, right? Can we knock it out right there? So yeah, that's my lesson to you, the guys. Like, I know what you mean, right? But you know what? Did I say I'm fucking broke? Well, that's because I'm poor with money. We can talk about that in a future episode. I'll like make that a specific topic, actually. Why Jim Dempsey sucks with money and why his wife is not happy about it. But you know what? I got a fucking successful-ass marriage with a woman that the Nazis would not be happy about, probably. Because, yeah, she's from Pakistan. But you know what? She doesn't like fucking Muslims either. I said, actually, once to my friend Julie about that. I was like, yo, this chick that, I mean, she's like, well, the thing was, like, my son really loved her. Here's, okay, shit, let's just tangent this, all right? Let me break down Jim Dempsey's successful marriage. I had a son with this woman, and if it tells you anything about what this kind of person was, but I wasn't aware of it, well, I got full custody in very short order, and then I had a 3-year-old, and, you know, like, what the fuck? Are you going to do with that, right? And, well, he took a real shine to this woman, and he was calling her, like, mom, essentially. Like, for all he knew, she was his fucking mother. And I'm like, well, what does your dad do with your fucking mother? They're, so, you know, like, and was I like, oh, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen? Was I like, it's really convenient that you've got broken-ass English, and I'm, like, just kind of an asshole about that in particular, and that I have... At the time, I didn't have dubious, you know, views on immigration, but that did kind of change, and that's also a funny story. And that's just Joe Biden right there. We can make fun of Donald Trump, but Jesus Christ, Joe Biden, man. He made a fucking Nazi out of Jim. Minus the, you know, the black people thing. I'm not down with that one. As long as they're citizens. Am I going off the rails with this? I'm sorry. Let's keep this on focus here. We're going along. Jim Dempsey's successful marriage. Yeah, like, it was not a marriage of love. It was an arranged marriage, and it would you ask me today, like, do you love this woman? I'd be like, she's the fucking mother of like 4 of my kids. Well, she's the mother of all 5 of my kids, but she gave me 4 more. And if you don't think that makes them fucking beautiful on the way, then I'd be like, yo, bro, I could, this fucking time I'm looking at your sorry ass, like, I could be looking at my beautiful wife, and like, yeah, like, she got a lot fucking hotter as she aged, just because that's the thing. You gotta marry for, like, for that love, and you'll find something. Like, she'll become beautiful because you love her. So, and I know that's a real fucking challenge for most guys. Like, you look at, like, normal-sized women and you're like, oh, she's fat, so, I mean, but if you can get over that fact, then, you'll do a lot better in your fucking life. And is that not the greatest place to end it? Like, let's wrap it here. Devin, look the fuck out. The rest of you, yeah. Think whatever you want about Nazis, but don't judge too harshly until you've walked in their jackboots. And yeah, by all means, don't listen to their black metal and don't listen to them about black people, because yeah, we all know some things are true. But yeah, like, don't be a fucking asshole. Just talk shit about the black metal. That's all that counts. Like, because we all think dumb shit in some form or another. And their black metal sucks. That's all you need. And yeah, marry well for love, not for looks. And Dempsey dips.